stir some porridge oats together, and then I add fresh milk, and then I stir it round like this, and then I might even add some special honey to that mixture. Some people slice up banana too, but I like it just like this, nice and warm and comforting. Did you eat breakfast today? I hope so. Well, this story is about 3 animals that love their breakfast, particularly porridge. Can you guess who they are? Let me see. Well, it always begins with a once upon a time. And this is how this story goes. There was once Daddy Bear and a very friendly Mummy Bear. They loved each other very much. And they had a little baby bear. And they all lived happily in a little house on the edge of a wood. Now, Daddy Bear was very good at making breakfast, and one morning he made porridge. But on this day he made it too hot, so Mummy Bear said, "We better go for a walk and let it cool down." So they all went off for an early morning walk. Now, while they were gone, somebody else had also gone for an early morning walk. Her name was Goldilocks. Do you know about her? Well, I expect you know then that she also lived near the forest, and she'd had an early morning walk through the forest and had got to the other side, and she came to the 3 bears' house. She didn't knock on the door. Oh no, she just pushed open the door and walked straight in. And there in front of her, on the kitchen table, were those 3 bowls of porridge that Daddy Bear had made that morning. There was Daddy Bowl's big bowl of porridge. There was Mummy Bear's bowl of porridge. And there was Baby Bear's little bowl of porridge. And there was a spoon laid neatly next to each bowl. Goldilocks didn't think twice. She was hungry. She tried the porridge in Daddy Bear's bowl. She picked up the spoon and she tried it. Ooh, it's too hot. She put the spoon down quickly. That'll never do. She tried the porridge in Mummy Bear's bowl. Ooh, it was too sweet and a bit cold. And then she looked at Baby Bear's little bowl. She picked up his little spoon and dipped it in, and just right. And she ate it all up, every last scraping. And then Goldilocks thought, wow, I am quite tired. I could do with sitting in front of a nice warm fire. And she looked around her, and there in front of the fire there were 3 comfy chairs. Well, at least there was a very large chair. She got on top of that. It was quite hard to climb onto. It was made of wood, and it was very, very hard to sit on. She came off that one. And then she sat on the medium-sized chair, which was very soft. She nearly sunk through the bottom. Then she saw a little chair. It could have been made just for her. And she sat on that little chair. Do you know what happened to that little chair? I'll tell you now. It smashed all to pieces. Well, Goldilocks was quite perturbed, and she shook herself down. She thought, well, there must be somewhere in this place to have a little rest. And then she saw the stairs in the corner of the room. She went over to the stairs. She didn't even take her shoes off. And she walked up those stairs until she reached the door of the bedroom, and she opened that too. She went inside, and there was a big bed. She lay down on the big bed. It was too hard, and it was a long way from the ground. She felt quite frightened on it. And then she got off that one, and she went to a medium-sized bed. She lay down on that one too. No, it'll never do. It was much too soft. And the pillows would drown her. And then she saw, just next to the window, with the most beautiful view, a little bed, almost like a cot, almost made for her. And she got into the bed without taking her shoes off, and she pulled the covers up to her neck, and she fell fast asleep. Now, whilst Goldilocks is sleeping, those bears, Daddy Bear, Mummy Bear, and their little baby bear all came home. And they came into the kitchen, and instantly they could tell that somebody had been there. And Daddy Bear said, "Who's been eating my porridge?" And Mummy Bear said, "Oh, well, somebody's touched mine too." And Baby Bear looked at his bowl, and it was empty. "Who's been eating my porridge and has eaten it all up?" Well, then they moved over to the chairs. Daddy Bear said, "Well, who's been sitting in my chair?" And Mummy Bear said, "Who's been sitting in my chair?" Baby Bear looked at his chair, and we know that it was broken all to pieces, and Baby Bear burst into tears. "Who's been sitting in my chair and has broken it all to pieces?" And then Daddy Bear saw the footprints, and he saw that they led to the corner of the room, and he followed them, and they all went up the stairs to the bedroom. And there Daddy said, "Who's been sleeping in my bed?" And Mummy Bear said, "Who's been sleeping in my bed?" And Baby Bear looked at his own cot next to the window and said, "Who's been sleeping in my bed, and who is still there?" And the three bears looked over the bed that Goldilocks was sleeping in. And Goldilocks at that very moment woke up with a start to look at those bears staring over at her. And she was terrified. She'd never seen big bears like these. And immediately she jumped out of the bed and she ran down those stairs as fast as her little legs could carry her. And she went right past that kitchen table. And she went out of the door and she ran as fast as she could through the forest and back to her own house. And she slammed the door tight. And never again did Goldilocks go to anybody's house without knocking on their door first and being invited in. And let's hope she also learnt a lesson about tasting other people's porridge and wearing shoes up people's stairs into their bedrooms. Well, the three bears, what do you think they did next? I think it went like this. I think they all came downstairs, and then Daddy made a new batch of creamy, delicious, sweet porridge, which was just right, and they all had a new bowl of porridge, which they ate for their breakfast that morning. And then Daddy and Mummy set to, and they rebuilt Baby Bear's chair till it was just right once more. And that's the end of my story about the three bears and Goldilocks. Thank you for listening. Take care for now. See you again soon. Bye bye.